Okay, so this is the first video on basic number operations. Okay, so our basic topic is number operations. Now, regarding number operations, what we are going to talk about in this video is basically operations box type problems. Basically box type problem I would like to discuss with you. And so we will talk about, just a second, so we will talk about basic addition box type problems. Now, what do you mean by box type problem? Let me show you. Say for example, we have got a question like this: 200 is equal to 100 plus fill in the box. So these are the type of problems we are going to talk about. This is what I mean by when I say box type problem. Okay, now, so how do you solve this problem? So this is basically the very first type of problem, right? A very basic box type problem. Now, how do you solve it? Before we talk about how to solve this problem, let me first tell you a very basic idea regarding what happens when numbers go from one side to another side of this equal to sign in an equation. Okay, now let us talk about it. You see, you will remember there is a game called Kabaddi, right? You remember this game, I think. Now, what happens in Kabaddi is there are two teams. There are two teams. Suppose this is team A and this is team B, and there are several students or several participants in each team. And during the game, each participant has to go, which by going I mean this, you have to cross this line and move over to the other side and touch as many people as possible. While doing that, you see there is a very important thing to notice, which is that this person or this player who is moving from one side to another side, his behavior changes. What do you mean by behavior? I mean to say is that all the players in this group A or in this team A, they are his friends, right? But when this same player moves to this side after crossing this line, he becomes sort of enemy of this team B, right? So what I mean to say is that the same thing can happen to a player who moves from team B to team A, and whenever someone from one side crosses this line, his behavior changes. So all the players of these sides are friends, and when one of them moves to this side, he becomes an enemy of this side. Now, similarly in mathematics, what happens is that you will see through this very basic example. Suppose, let me ask you, what is 10 plus 20?
10 plus 20 is 30.
Okay, so 10 plus 20 is 30, right? Now again, next question, what is 15 plus 15?
30.
Right? So you see, they are both the same. Now what I am going to do here, I am going to omit this 30 over here and I am going to equate these two sides. So I am going to write like this: 10 plus 20 equal to 15 plus 15. Okay, right. Now you remember the game of kabaddi which I was just talking about. So you think of this equal to sign as your line of kabaddi game. Now what I am going to do is I am going to tell you that all these numbers of this side of the equation, they belong to the left hand side. Sorry, they belong to the right hand side. Now this is the equal to sign, and on the right hand side of the equal to we have got RHS, and on the left hand side we have got left LHS, which is left hand side of the equal to sign. Now whenever one number moves from this side to another side, what happens is that the sign in front of the number, it changes. Now this is very similar to the behavior of the player in the kabaddi game, where when the player was moving from one side to another side, he was becoming the enemy of the other side. So in this case, in mathematics, basic number operations, when this 15, what is the sign before this number 15? There is no sign, which means there is a positive sign. And so if I move this 15 number to this side, it will become minus 15. So let me again show you this thing. Just a second. So okay, so I am going to write like this: 10 plus 20. Now this 15 I am going to put on this side, and when I am going to put this, there is a minus sign over here, and then we have the same equal to sign, and this 15, the lone number, is over here. So this is how it is done. Now let us check. Let us do a very small check. It is right or wrong. Now what is 10 plus 20?
It is 30.
30. And what is 30 minus 15? Come on, this is just the same number, 15. So we are on the right track, right? So this is how we do the very basic operations in mathematics using this kabaddi like of rule, which means that there is an equal to sign, and then there are two parts, LHS and RHS of the equation, and whenever some number moves from this side to this side, or some number moves from RHS to LHS, the sign changes when moving. Okay, so with these ideas, let me now talk about the very basic problem which I was telling you in the beginning, right? And what was the problem? The basic problem was 200 is equal to 100 plus box. So how am I going to solve this? Remember, when I say I want to solve this, SOLVE, solve, which means that I need something like this, which is box equal to something. This is what I want. Okay?
Yes.
This is what I want. So if I want this sort of thing, what should I do? You see, there is no 100 over here on this side, so I have to send this number 100 to this side, and as there is a plus sign in front of 100, so if it goes to this side, it will become minus 100. So it will be 200 minus 100, and if you do the maths, you will see that it is just 100. So our box is 100. So this is a very basic addition problem using this basic idea of changing signs when we change sides. Okay, now you must be thinking, what is so very funny? I mean, this is very trivial. This is very basic idea. Now just wait. Very slowly I am going to talk about more complicated problems. Okay, so the next question is like this. Suppose I ask you, what is this? Now you see, in this type of problem, this is the second type of problem. Okay, in this type of problem, the first thing you have to do is whatever you see operations which can be done, you just do it. So you do add this 30 plus 20 and you get 50. So the first step after this is you add this thing and your modified equation becomes like this. Okay, next what do? Next we do the same old trick. We want this thing, right? So what we do is we send the number 10 on this side, and what we have? We will have 50 plus 10 or minus 10. Come on, there is a plus sign over here, so it will become minus 10.
Yes.
Okay, and the answer is 40. So again, this is how we are doing the problem. Fine. Now let me do a little bit same type of problem but little bit different. Suppose I ask you, how do you do this problem? Okay, now just as I was telling you, you can see this on the screen, so you just add it, and what do you get? 40 plus 30 is 70, and
Yes.
70 plus 20 is 90,
90.
right? So this equation becomes 90 plus 10, right? And so again what we do is we do like this, 90 minus 10, and so our box is 80, right? Okay, now so far we have done only single box problems, single box problem, right? And we have done all this using addition only. Remember, in my later videos, in my next video, I will talk about the little bit more difficult problem of subtraction using addition only. Right, fine. Now the next step will be using two boxes. So let me talk about two box problems. So how do you do that? Well, let's see. Now suppose I ask you this thing. You see, 1 liter is equal to 200 milliliter plus addition of two boxes, right? Now before I talk about how to solve this problem, it is important to note that there are two very important concepts here. You see this number 1L, what does this mean? This 1 is basically a number, right? And what is this L? L is liter. L stands for liter, which is a unit, right?
Yes.
What is liter?
A unit of capacity.
Capacity. So this thing involves two important concepts. So 1 liter is a sort of capacity, denotes capacity. 1 liter of capacity, right? Now, of course, we have the milliliter on this side. So before we solve this problem, it is important to note that 1 liter is equal to how much milliliter?
1000 milliliter.
Yes, this is a very basic rule. So with this, now we can write this equation again in this form. 1000. Let us now forget about the milliliters and we just write the numbers only. Okay, so 1000 equal to 200 plus box, two boxes. Okay, so how do you solve this problem? Next, you see, okay, so what to do? Let me see. So we have got two boxes, right? Now these are basically two unknowns and they behave like a single box. So basically we have got two boxes. So let me use this symbol.
Yes.
And so our equation, this equation becomes now 1000 equal to 200 plus this box. Okay, now we know how to solve this. Remember, we have just done this, we have just solved this type of problems. And what do? Well, we do our usual trick, which is 1000 minus 200, and if you do the maths, the answer is 800.
Yes, 800.
Okay, so now let us break this. So we have the sum of two boxes is equal to 800.
Yes.
So we have to add two numbers such that their sum is 800. So after doing the first set of problem, we are now coming back to a sort of word problem which says that find two numbers such that their sum is 800. Now there are so many types. There are so many ways of solving this. You can choose any number. Say, if you choose 1 over here, then the next number will be what? 800 minus 1, which is 799, right? So the next number is 799. Now instead, if you choose 100, then the next number will be 800 minus 100, which is equal to 700. So you can choose like this, but remember, you cannot choose more than 800. Say if you choose the biggest number 800, then the next number should be 0, of course. Then only you will get 800. So you see, there is not a unique solution, which means that there are many types of possibilities for the two boxes. One is 1, 799, another is, you see, another is 100, 700, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me now talk about again a little bit more complicated version of this problem. Suppose I ask you, how will you solve this problem? This thing, you see, box plus 3 liter is equal to 490 milliliter plus again another box plus 510 milliliter. Okay, so now you see there are two boxes, again this one and this one, but they are on different sides of this equation. How do you do that? Now the first things first, what we see on the screen, these sides we can add these two, right? So you can easily add 490 plus 510, and what will you get, students? What will you get? You will see it comes out to be 1000. So our modified equation becomes box plus, now let me write in terms of milliliter. So it is box plus 300 equal to 1 liter or 1000 plus box, right? Now again, what we are going to do this time is we are going to change two numbers. Now here we have got one box. Let me denote this by this one, like this, and this box is over here, right? So the next set will be, you see, this. Now I am going to bring this box on this side of the equation. So it will be this box minus this box. Should it be like this, students? Come on, how will you do this? It is not possible, you see. This step is not possible. Before doing this step, I mean whether I should bring this box to this side or this box to this side, I have to see. What do I have to see? I have to see whether it is correct step or not. You see, if I bring this box to this side, then I have to do 1000 minus 3000. Okay. Instead, it is more better for class 3 or 4 students thinking who have not been introduced to negative numbers. You have to think like this, that it is in fact this side where the box is bigger. How? You see, it is like this. This box plus 3000 is equal to this 1000 plus this another box. Now both sides are equal. However, this 1000 is lesser than 3000. So
Yes.
this means this box must have higher number than this box. So we will write it like this. This box minus this box is equal to, what will it be? 3000. So this goes to this side. Okay. Or what? No, this doesn't go to this side, but this goes to this side. So this box goes to this side and we have this number, right? And this 1000 goes to this side. So it is 3000 minus 1000 and the answer is 2000. So we have got the subtraction of two boxes is equal to 2000. Now how are you going to solve this problem? Again, just like previous case, you can solve this. You say that suppose this is my 3000 and this is my 1000. You see, then 3000 minus 1000 is equal to 2000.
Yeah.
Or you can say this is 4000 and this is then 2000. Again, 4000 minus 2000 is equal to 2000. Okay, so in this way you can solve this problem. And again, like previous question, here we do not have a unique solution. There are many possibilities. Fine. Now let me conclude this lecture with this class by giving you a sort of homework. Suppose I ask you to solve this question. Now, what is this question? You see, a very simple question. Of course it is not simple, I am just joking. Suppose it is like this. Sorry. Okay. Now, how do you do that? Same thing. So, sum of two boxes, right, plus 100 and plus 200. Now this two sum up to be 300. So what we have from here is that this box plus this box is equal to 1000 minus 300 and the answer is 700. So again we have got these two boxes sum, and again the solution is not trivial. We can have what, 300 and 400, or we can have 350 and 350 as well. So no homework, I have solved this, but basically I have given you, I think I have given you a successful flavor of single and double basic box type problems using addition. Okay.